It's another vlog and another convention. I have missed conventions. I miss going to them. I miss the atmosphere of them. I'm at Zolocon. This is run by Michael Zolotaro. Really great guy, and this is a huge toy convention. I believe it's 2 floors. I'm not sure. That'd be really cool if it is still 2 floors. Originally, back in the day, it was a 2-floor convention. It was like at this decommissioned NASA space agency, like training facility. It's really cool. But today, we're at a casino. I'm on the hunt for pretty much like Transformers, Pokemon. I'm really looking for just vintage stuff, maybe some, Bandai Teen Titans. I really have no idea. I really have no idea what I'm on the hunt for right now. I have a list, but let's get into what Zolocon has. There was a lot of very interesting figures, and just everything there was just really interesting. This caught my eyes. These are original Sailor Moon figures and plushies, and you can tell they just look very off-model. These were done by Irwin, and Irwin had the Dragon Ball license for the longest time until Jakks Pacific took it over. This is one that I wanted, but it was like $300. I wanted that arc. I really did. I still want it, but I'm not trying to pay that much for it. It does go for that much, but I just don't want to pay for that much. And Wizard of Oz, that was interesting to see, but I guess with Wicked, everyone's just trying to push out Wizard of Oz stuff. Here's Lionel. This is an original Lionel trainer. I'm not too sure which. Well, you can read it right there. I did have a few growing up. I had a lot really growing up. Lunchboxes. These were like these were back in like this. What was it, like the 60s, 70s, and 80s? If you had whichever show you had, told you like what fandom you were a part of, and it was like which, like an identity thing, like you know which one you had was basically who you liked, basically like what show or movie or cartoon you liked. It was interesting. Then they went from tin to like plastic, and that pretty much just killed the hobby because they didn't look too good. Let's just put it that way. There's some Transformers. There was a lot of Transformers here. Not the ones that I was particularly looking for. I actually own that figure, and I'm so glad I do, because I would not pay that price. They were not really the ones that I was looking for here at this booth. Later on in the video, you'll see the ones that I was actually looking for. And, of course, the obligatory Funko Pop. I'm actually surprised there wasn't a lot of Funkos there. I guess because just how the market is right now for them, they're not really doing too well, which, you know, to each his own. I still buy them sometimes, but, you know. There's Mego. Always good to see Mego. And the Knight Rider. That's an original Knight Rider figure, toy. Robotech right there. And I don't have it. I only have the series. I don't really have, like, the figures. I only prefer the series. This was an interesting booth. I mean, obviously, everything here was interesting, but this particularly was interesting because he actually put out the original Star Wars figures. I've only ever really seen them in like piles of other figures. I've never actually seen them set up like this. I actually think it's cool that he set them up. These are the original IOU figures. I'm not too versed on them, but from what I remember, these were figures that could not be made, like they weren't released for the Christmas holiday, so then they just sent out an IOU, and then the kids eventually got them in the mail, so they were mail-aways basically. This is a phenomenal Dick Tracy. I was complimenting the vendor on just how amazing this Dick Tracy is. It is I don't know the brand, but this is something. If I was like a big Dick Tracy fan, I definitely would have like bought it. But like as you see, it's like $225. That's pretty much cutting into my budget there. I could not stop complimenting it. It was phenomenal, and that is who runs a Toy Box Finds. Now moving on from that phenomenal figure, just more of like what this vendor was selling. Like there's the vendor, and then I don't know why that. You know what? Hold on. I don't know why that's expensive. And I would like to know, if you know why that's expensive, please tell me down below. I would love to read like why or do some research on it further. Hot Wheels, of course. This vendor was cool, and this is why. I asked, hey, could I open up the cabinet, like the little display case? He's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I don't mind. So I opened it up, and he's like, "Oh, you meant that? I would have helped you. I would have helped you." I was like, "No, it's okay, it's okay." I just wanted to check out the Jolteon that I just zoomed in there. He was awesome, and I was holding a camera with one hand. I can only really flip through here as best I can. It is so cool. I actually regret not flipping through there more. I wish I actually put the camera down and flipped through there a little bit more than what you're seeing. Blaine's Charmander, that's cool. There's so many. There's like what 4 or 5, 3 or 4, something like that I'm actually like missing, and they're pretty common. Here's some Legos. I still collect Legos, but I only collect the minifigures. I don't really have space for the play sets, and I'm mad because I would love to have the sets. Here we go. Here's some comic books. Now we're getting to like comic book territory, Funko territory. Yeah, this was like one of only Funko vendors here, I think. They also were selling Pokemon cards at reasonable prices too. I think, maybe a little overpriced. I'm not sure about the pricing of the Pokemon cards. Anyways, let's see. I actually checked those out. Those weren't cards that I was interested in, and I actually zoom in right there. Yeah. Okay. So they had a lot of McFarlane stuff right there, and I don't really collect McFarlane. I don't really care for him. He's kind of a terrible person in my eyes and in my mind. Just for like how he handles toy licenses, I don't like how he handles them. Some slabs. Okay, so let's get in some slabs. If you were going to start off a collection, Zolocon would be the perfect place. Look at those prices. They're actually really $100, $80 over there, $220. They're really good, and they're actually really high grades. I think the lowest I saw this have was probably like an 8.0, which isn't bad if you're starting out. I mean, I'm sure there's 8 collectors out there. I know there's plenty of 9.6s and 9.5s collectors. That was a 9.0. Just a perfect overall great way to start a collection or continue one if you trying to build that right there. This had, what did you have? Oh, right, this had just the best type of, I think. Is this the one I'm thinking of? It had the Rhino, that's right. Okay, so this is the continuation of the previous clip. This had the Rhino. I was not going to pay that much for it. I do need him for my collection, but I am not paying that much for Rhino. Absolutely not. No. I'm glad I have this. Oh my god. I saw that price, and I was like, I'm glad I have it. That He-Man figure, I'm glad I bought it when I did. Because if I had to buy it from a convention, I would have been upset. That price is... No, I'm not paying that much for that. Here's a display case for figures. Here's more figures. This is all uncut, by the way. I should have stated that in the beginning. It's all uncut. I did not cut any of this footage. So what you're seeing is I just uploaded the clips in the CapCut and I just started rolling. Nope. Except the beginning had a cut and then my haul had a cut, but not this. Here's some vintage figures, vintage Mego. And now, this caught my eye. They had All Real Monsters. I loved All Real Monsters, and I actually owned the toys for years. For years I owned the toys. I don't know what happened to them, but I loved those figures. I had every figure too. I had the Grumble, I had Ickis, Alina, the Crumb. I had them all, and I wish I actually still had them. There we go. We're checking them out now. They're not bad actually. 25 is what I would pay for them. But it's like I don't have the space. I don't have the need for them. So they don't fit my collection basically. Now, I could buy them and, bundle them up and just be like, hey, these are here for nostalgia. But then it's like, okay, I'm just buying them for nostalgia's sake. I'm not buying them for my collection. It just doesn't work. When you go to conventions, always check by your feet, because you never know what you'll see. There's always like $1 or $5 bins down there, especially in toy conventions and video game conventions. Okay, we're getting some VHS. This is probably a bulk of the X-Men animated series, like the 90s series, not X-Men 97, of course. And if I was collecting VHS, I would probably have bought a good slew of them. This caught my eye. I have no idea what the Golden Book is, I know what the Golden Books are, but I grew up off of them. My mother used to read them to me. I used to read them when I learned how to read. I just didn't know that He-Man or like other cartoons were on there. Voltron, hey Voltron. I just didn't know that they came on there, and that looked just bootleg to me. So I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Okay. What really like surprised me is that there's a Neo Geo. I didn't really see Neo Geos too much. Not even at like convention, like video game conventions. I rarely see them. So I mean, seeing one here, that was cool. You know, we're going through here, like Pokemon cards. Okay, this is what I want to show. This is common. You see these all the time. But what you don't see is that the pricings here are actually reasonable for slabs and just regular cards. I have to tell you, this vendor was very upfront. He was like telling me, I don't price gouge, I don't do none of that. You know, I try to be reasonable, and he was, and I love that with this vendor. Like, he was just so reasonable. Now we're just really, what is it? Okay. Those Marvel card backs right there, I didn't really zoom in, but I'm still collecting those. I want to find more. Anime. I love seeing the anime figures. I was tempted to blow my budget on all these anime figures. Not the Funko, but just all these anime figures. I want to see more of these at like regular toy conventions. What am I saying? I just want to see more of those anime figures, like the Band Presto ones. Less Funko, more Band Presto. That's what I'm trying to say. Right here, it was interesting. It wasn't like that interesting. I'm just panning around the camera. Those Mega Man figures, I remember the hype around them. Everybody wanted to get them. I think those are Jazzwares. Everybody wanted to get those Mega Man figures, and the hype came and went, and now they're just like, if you have them, you have them. If you don't, you don't. And there's really no FOMO or anything like that. Here's a bin. It wasn't a dollar bin or anything, but it was interesting. A lot of Spawn figures in here. I haven't seen them in, I don't know, what, 20 years? Something like that, 22 years? That was just cool to see. I wasn't planning on like buying anything. I like Spawn, but not to that extent. Here's Transformers. This almost made me want to like basically blow my entire budget. I'm looking for, you know, like the 2000s Transformers, the one like Armada, the anime ones basically. And they had a few, but they mostly had a lot of the 80s ones, and I'm also looking for those. I was tempted. I was so tempted. This is the new Devastator. This Devastator is out right now, and it is expensive just to get all those pieces. I like seeing it. I will own it, but just seeing it in person, seeing it in person actually just fueled my need for more of wanting it. Here's a few Migos over there, a few more. This is the same table, by the way. This is just, oh yes, the Indiana Jones stuff. I didn't ask about this. I was just mostly like, oh, this is so cool to see this all displayed and just see everything out. I did see that. I think I see a few of these things that were purchasable. I was not going for it. Now, what am I here? Right, the Spider-Man figures. They had some of the ones that, maybe one or two that I would have wanted, but what I regret is not buying that Fang and that Robo and Hawk. These were priced beautifully. These Sonic figures were priced beautifully. I regret not picking those up. God, I'm stupid. I was going to buy them. I would have bought them. I was going to buy them, and I did not. Here's more Transformers, G.I. Joe. There's some gargoyles over there, top right corner. The original Justice League cartoon. That was cool. The Star Wars, what is that? The Star Wars Ghost, I think it is. I don't know anything about Star Wars. It was just another, this is the same table. This really is like just the same table. A little hodgepodge from Harry Potter there. And just keep going and going. What got me, I think this is the table, I believe. You see, that's a good price right there for Future Flash. $5 a pack. I would have bought it. I was just I wasn't really going for it. This one. This was hilarious. Penn and Teller's How to Play in Traffic. That book it's an autobiography, which I think is hilarious that they named, well, of course they would name their autobiography. Autobiography, they would name that title. I would have bought it, but yeah. Street Fighter. I love Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. I have to get into it. I don't play competitively. I play casually. I have to get back into both games. I'm slacking. I am really slacking with them. Here's more. Here's just random. Oh, here we go. These ones. These are the plushes. I didn't own the plush. I did not know about these plush. Maybe in the future, if I see them, I'll pick them up. But I think I don't know. Maybe in the future I'll pick them up, add on to my plush collection. This is what got me. I want the Ertl. This is from a company named Ertl, and they made the Super Mario Bros. The OG version, like the movie figures. I have a few. Now, this is what I was hype about. They had maybe one or two, maybe one figure. You see me grabbing it up there, and yep. That was one that I bought, by the way, spoiler. But wait for the actual like haul video, because I actually showed the haul in depth. What do we have here? What do we have? Okay, yeah, the Pokemon toys, Digimon toys, they were all just thrown about there. I wasn't going to go through them. Really? This is just... It was really... Okay, this is the one I was thinking of. I was going to say, really, I don't know if this is the one. It had Omega Supreme, and price so good, so damn good. I wish I bought that. $125 for a complete Omega Supreme is gorgeous. And at the same booth, or maybe the booth down from it, this person had all these GameCube games just out there, like $50, $60, $70 GameCube games, and a really well-priced GameCube for $80. I don't know why I didn't buy it. I don't know. I want a GameCube. I play on my Wii. It's backwards compatible, but I really just want a GameCube, and I don't know why I did not pull that. I'm not sure. Don't come for me at the comments. I guess I'm just not going for video games, like, for that. I guess I just didn't go for video games at this convention. I'm not sure why. Here's prop replicas. From what I can gather, these are prop replicas of the original props. So sure, yep, they're prop replicas. Spaceballs. If you know why there was no Spaceballs toys, you'll know. Basically, Lucasfilm said you can't make toys, but you can make the movie. So to see a custom Dark Helmet is pretty cool. I wasn't gonna ask for the price, but it was cool to see. There's more big box and really expensive figures. I think this is the same one from a moment ago. It could be wrong here. And some Toy Biz, some Kenner. Just, Zolocon has a lot. Oh, there's Tomb Raider. I actually have one already. I wasn't going to go for that one. Zolocon just has like a random mishmash of like modern to like retro to modern. It really is like you just spend so many hours in here. You can get lost. You can really get lost in here, and you're gonna. Oh, Wing Saber. Yes, or not Wing Saber. I forget who that is. You get lost. You can just get lost in here, and you just really you get disoriented because there's just so much stuff, and so much stuff you want to buy. Also, yeah, I was gonna think about that transfer. That's energy. No, that's from the anime. That's from Japan, actually. Now that I think about it, I'm sorry. That's from Japan. There's one that looks exactly like that one. Moving on. Just, yeah, Zolocon has such a wide variety. There's always something for somebody there. And you never leave. Really, if you know what you're looking for and you know what you want to add for your collection, you never really leave empty-handed. But as a convention, you could. You pay the money to get in. You walk around. You don't see what you want, and that's fine. That's curation. Collectors like to curate. There's Alf and Boglin or something. I can't think of that top left corner one. Okay, here is I see another original Omega Supreme up there in the top of the video, and just another assortment Transformers G.I. Joe, just 80. So it's almost like RetroCon, but not exactly. If you catch what I'm saying, it's more like kind of modern and retro together. NES games, yeah, NES games are fun. I'm not too attached to the NES. Maybe a few games. There's Turtle games I should have inquired about. Those look nice. Ah, the plushies. I was not thinking to buy these. I like seeing them. I'm looking for vintage. I like the vintage anime plushies. Especially like if there's some from Japan, I would love to see those. What else is here? I did go down and you saw like what was down there. All right. I was tempted for the Sailor Moon. I like Sailor Moon, so I was a little tempted on that one. Like really tempted. All right. This is what caught my attention. The fact that there is a whole bunch of Rugrats. Regrettably, I should have bought those 2 DVDs. The Rugrats movie, or Rugrats in Paris, or Rugrats movie? I don't remember which one that is. And the one behind it, the Knicks picks. I'm never going to see those. I'm never going to see the Knicks picks again. That is really hard to come by, like an uncommon DVD. I'm probably never going to see that one again. Well, live and learn. Here's more Transformers. This one was priced at like, what, 80, I think? 80, 70, $80? And you can still get it. You can still get it off Big Bad Toy Store. I just can't fathom paying that much for a currently produced figure. I don't know. I wouldn't do that myself. I would not just go out of the whim and just buy a currently produced figure. These are books, so like novelizations of episodes or games or movies. Right there's Indiana Jones. There's some manga thrown in there. What was I would have probably picked up that Pokedex Sword and Shield. Yeah, see, I'm grabbing it. My friend was with me at this point, so we're kind of just we're just herpa-derping around, just messing around. Unless price. Ah, crap! I could have bought that. I don't think that was priced. Could have been. These are the figures I want. These Banpresto, like the 2 Dragon Ball figures here. These are the ones that I really want to go after. In my Otakon, like with Otakon, when you see that Otakon video, when that happens in the summer, you're going to see me just have a crap ton of Banpresto. This was more interesting, just just a very interesting figure. This is from the video game / anime series Sengoku Musa, and I've never heard of it. I had to look it up when I started looking at this figure. I don't know anything about it. If you know something about it, please enlighten me. I have no idea anything about this figure. I don't know anything about this franchise. Apparently, it's like a video game and anime adaptation type of thing. I don't know. But the figure was cool to see, nonetheless. And I was talking to the vendor, and he was like, I don't know anything about this either. I just had it in my collection for like 20, 30 years. And I'm just selling it now because I don't really want it anymore. Which, it's reasonable. We get like that. Here's an inside of the figure. Again, it's pretty standard what you would get like 30 years ago. Ooh, yes. Yes. This is what I wanted. Like, you saw that. Did you see the Energon and right here, the Energon figures and the Armada? There's a few Armadas I saw, but Energon right there. I don't like the anime at all. I think it's complete garbage. It's just mishandled. The dub mishandled it completely. I did watch the sub. The sub was okay. Either way, it just was not a very good series. These figures are pretty on point when it came to just their prices. The demand for these figures have went up in the last, 8 or 9 years? And I don't know where that demand is from. My generation, maybe? It really is just mind-boggling, like, where the demand for these figures are. I remember these figures just not doing too well. I remember these figures always just being on the like KB Toys and Toys R Us, Walmart, just sitting there collecting dust, not being collected for collections. Again, you have just more retro goodness, just so much stuff you wouldn't see at just any type of like toy convention, I would say. Ooh, here's Tidal Wave. I was contemplating this so badly. I was thinking, do I want to buy this? Do I really want to buy it? And the price, I think I took a picture of the price. I could be wrong. I think I did take a picture of the price. I think it's like over either exactly $100 or over $100. And really, that box is just beautiful. I would have paid it. At this point in the convention, I was still going through it. I did stand up Omega Supreme. I felt bad that it was just lying there. I did stand it back up. This is the second one that I saw that's complete. I'm shocked by just 2 complete ones at the same convention is quite unheard of. $300. My bad. It was $300. Even worse, I'm not blowing my budget on one figure. If that was like the only thing I came there for, maybe. Okay, we got the Simpsons figures. These are the original Simpsons figures. I don't really have much to say. I was alive when these were coming out, but I just did not go after them. I started watching Simpsons when I was like 8 or 9, maybe 10. So, yeah, really nothing to say there. Again, here we are. Anything, what else? Let's see. There's some Dragon Ball goodness right there. And just random transform, like minifigures right there. Some just random minifigures, nothing too spectacular. It's some Gundams. So if you're into Gundams, this convention had quite a few just phenomenally priced Gundam and plushies. These were some that I was contemplating on, especially the Donkey Kong. I was really heavily considering that. These are these are like the Marvel. These are kind of mixed together with like retro and modern, and I would have went after them, but it just they're still in production. I prefer stuff that's not in production right now. I just feel that makes the chasing and collecting a little bit more enjoyable. Oh yes, the Super Friends. There's more He-Man. Those, I did not look at the prices, but I think they are going up right now. What do we have here? This figure right here is the last, but I believe it is the last Toy Biz figure ever made, or close to the last ones. It's Spider-Hulk, and there's Juggernaut. That figure alone, I'm surprised it's not in a glass case. That figure alone is like $120 last time I checked. I could be wrong, don't quote me. And that's the second time I've seen it in like the past 5 years. Right. Okay. Pokemon, I could talk about this forever. This booth was phenomenal. These are Japanese VHSs for the movies, the TV show, or like the anime. God, if I had a Japanese VHS player, our VHS players won't play these tapes. I honestly would have considered buying like 1 or 2 tapes. I do want to have the Pokemon movies on VHS. I have them on DVD, but I want them on VHS. Now they always bring these. They always bring to any convention they go to. They always bring them. I want them in Japanese. Weirdly enough, and I might buy them next time. This is for the TCG. And they still have it. They actually had it. Go back to my RetroCon vlog. They actually have it still there. Still priced at $1,000. These are just some little plushies. They're I should have bought them for $40. That's not a bad deal. Those are from, I think, Burger King, but they don't look like Burger King. They might have been, I don't know. I couldn't tell you where those plushies came from. Here's some TCG stuff. There's more classic and vintage than modern, which I actually like seeing. I'm actually, I'm super close to a complete collection, so it's like I didn't really have to sit here and look at them. I didn't really have to go in depth. These are a lot of Elite Trainer boxes, or ETBs. This is what a lot of collectors fight over at Walmart and Target, for the ETBs. They don't really go for the packs unless that's all they have. Now, Starfire, I did not know that the OG Starfire had a plush. I was shocked seeing that. I assumed that was only the figures and maybe like a Robin plush, but I did see a Robin plush on eBay years ago. I did not see a Starfire plush. And now that I say this, it's going to be everywhere on eBay. When I'm looking up the figures, it's just going to pop up, because that's usually how it goes. I wanted to buy those, but I didn't at the same time. They're like the Mega Evolutions. They were going for, what was that? Was that like $20? God, I don't know. The Megas, I'm really just indifferent to the Megas. These were the ones that they were $120. I could not, for the life of me, put that down for that. That really felt bad. I should have grabbed them for $120. You can see how much this convention can run you if you don't like if you don't budget yourself out. It can run you a great bit. I budget myself out at convention. These were custom, I believe. Yeah, these were custom Mego figures, and they were like 100 to 200, by the way. Really, just from this lot, I was really contemplating on one. I was contemplating on that Inspector Gadget because that looks amazing, and the Dick Tracy's right there too. I'm not a fan. I mean, I like the movie, I like the character, but I don't think I would be able to justify that in my collection. There's so many. I could have easily bought like one or two Mego from this booth, and oh yeah, let me comment on that real quick. I could have bought a little bit more on that from that, but it's just the budgeting and all, money. That was the only anime and manga I saw there. I'm not joking when I say that, which is good. It's a toy convention. I was expecting to see a little bit more anime, not by much. Here's some exclusive Transformers. Hello Kitty was right there. There's some exclusive Transformers. Moving on. What do we got here? More? No. Here's Bam Presto. I at this point was not going to buy any Bam Presto figures. I was really tempted to buy the figures. I mean, I had a little bit money left over, but I was very tempted. There were a few in there that I wanted to get. Here's Godzilla. I don't know why I zoomed into Godzilla. I like Godzilla, but I don't know why I zoomed in. I guess I thought it was like vintage or something like that. We're winding down towards the end of the convention at this point, so I'm just really trying to grab whatever footage I can grab. Right now, yeah, okay, here we go. This is what I'd like to see. This import of like Japanese like Dragon Ball figures. I'd like to see that. I don't know why. I think that's so cool to see. Zolocon is over. This is a bag of what I bought. Let's get into it. This is in absolutely no particular order. This is just what I'm grabbing. First, okay, actually, yes. First, we're gonna go with something I've been I've been looking out for this forever. The Innovation Printing, or I'll say the Studio Proteus printing of 30 or 3x3i's. This infamously was not finished in America, but it was finished in Japan with 40 volumes. It's commonly there's a common misconception that it was not even finished in Japan, that the author just said screw it and never finished, but that's not true. It is finished, and I can't show you the inside because it's not exactly child friendly, but that's how much I paid for it. I can at least show you the covers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, currently I'm learning Japanese, and I'm gonna buy the full set once I'm completed. Not completed, but once I get a grasp of Japanese, I'm gonna buy the full set to get the full story. However, this is a good way to jump into it now, as it is. Again, I think it was just low. I think it just did not do too well, and that's why they cut it off at 5 issues. That's about 1 volume, I believe. I think that's just 1 volume, which is sad because the anime is amazing. The anime is good. The manga is good. And there are trade paperbacks out there that was released in English, but I'm not going to look for those. I will just buy the manga. We're going to get these two out of the way because these two were probably a really good find. And I'm going to leave the prices on there just so you can see what I was working with. One of the first vendors I walked up to was just full of just toys everywhere. Toys and a little bit of TCG. He had Pokemon. I asked if I can go through the thing, like the container. He was like, oh yeah, sure, go ahead. I lifted up because I saw this. Yes, I bought this for $30. This is a hollow. Is it going to get the light? It's not going to get the light. This is a hollow Jolteon. And as you can see, it is one of the original Jolteon. This is one that I was actually missing. I thought this was going to be impossible to find. I tell everyone, when you go to conventions, you never know what you're going to find. And that holds true to this. Because I got a non-holographic Gengar for $12, which is a steal. These usually go for a lot more. However, this was actually at another vendor's booth who said, I'm not trying to price gouge anybody. Then he said something hilarious, but also true. He said the holo of this is near impossible to get. I told him I don't want the holo. If I get it, cool. If I don't, cool. I just want the card. He sold it to me for $12. I don't know what I'm down to right now, but I'll leave that like right here. I'll leave that how many cards I have left for the original 151. There are some 2016 mixed in there. I know I have a Venusaur that's a celebration, but my friend gave that to me, so I keep that because my friend gave that to me. These are mini figures that I'm collecting. I'm collecting the Dragon Ball. The Dragon Ball ones I'm definitely collecting. I'm no longer collecting the Dragon Ball Funkos. I'm only sticking to these. These are called World Collectible Figures. These are really they're released by Band Presto, and these are hard to come by in the States. In Japan, obviously, they're going to be a lot easier, but these are a lot harder to come by. Now, what makes it interesting is that for the Dragon Ball line, it's basically, I want to say, 80 to 85 complete. You know, it obviously doesn't have the Maro or Granola characters, but it has the Xeno characters. It has like all these characters. And we know this one and these, I believe he doesn't have a Funko Pop, but I know these two do not. Look at Kibito. He looks amazing. The detail, just a mini figure like this just looks amazing. His hands behind his back. Everything about him, his face. This line made me never buy Dragon Ball Funkos again. Oh, and I just thought of, it's the One Piece and the Dragon Ball Band Presto are the ones that I'm buying. If you can track these down, you will never want Funko. Also, they have stands. They always come with stands. I am basically trying to get this. I'm trying to get this whole line. I want all the. I might buy the. I'm thinking about the My Hero line, but honestly, they haven't completed it yet. And I have a few already, but if they're not going to complete it, then I'll just stick to the Funkos. When you buy these figures, always note that they might have some assembly. As you see, Frieza has some assembly. I'm not going to do it right now, just because I have the boxes, but Frieza, some assembly. Actually, I will do that for a review. Yeah. Subscribe because I'm going to be reviewing these figures and the other ones that I have in my collection. That is some of, I believe Frieza and Cell are the only two right now in terms of like the Dragon Ball line that have some assembly. I can go all day about Band Presto and like the WCFs. I love them. But I can't because I got more collectibles to go through. Let's go here. I bought an entire bag of Mego. This may seem kind of trivial, but I bought this bag because I'm going to be doing Mego customs. As you see, we got like a Batman head down here. We got boots, got the costumes, Riddler. I think that's, I don't know who that is down there. Maybe Green Goblin. I have a body right here. There's a torso, and yeah. I just need to get the body, and then I can start making customs. I got a head right here. It's just a plethora of items. Thank you, Mego, for that, because that is awesome. Next, we have Transformers. I have been looking for this Transformer. Okay? I am going for a complete Armada Cybertron Energon line. Look at this. Hot shot. Now, he didn't come with accessories, and I don't mind. I just want the figure itself. Accessories will come later, but there's Hotshot. He's my favorite character in the entire trilogy. I now have Energon. Watch those previous vlogs. I actually get the watch the RetroCon vlog. I'll link that down below. I actually get the Energon boxed Hotshot, which I will be unboxing that as well as Inferno. But look at that, and look at his back. He is a little loose, but he's only for display. He's not for playing. And for 20 years old, he looks pretty good. Armada Megatron. Comment below, did you have any of these figures? Were any of these your favorite? Also, he has like 2 little things that go here. Those also came, and then also this part came. This is a re-release, so it's a couple years old, but he looks 1-to-1 to the original. There's his head. And yeah, I have Galvatron already. I have Galvatron. I just missed the release of this when he released. My friend, relative, and I, we went to Target, the amazing digital circus. These plushes are $9.99, and they look phenomenal. Look at that. Just phenomenal. By the way, their names are down below. I'm going to edit them into the video. They look incredible. The only one that I'm missing, I believe, is Zubul, pictured here, and Kane, the main antagonist. Even Ragatha looks good. And finally, Jax. I don't know when they're gonna release them. I hope soon, because those are the only 2 characters. And I also got the box with it. Those are the only 2 characters that I need. Oh, and Bubble, the other antagonist. Finally, package. This came while I was at the convention. This is a figure I wanted for a while. I am still collecting this line whenever I see it. And I am going to be doing a review of this, as well as other figures in my collection. So big, I gotta lean back. Kingpin. Here's the back. Out of these, I'm only missing Peter Parker, Green Goblin, and the Daredevil. Let's look at this. This is amazing. And you get him. Is that black? Wow. Oh, okay. So this one gives you, he's already battle damage, like he's already fought in a battle, and then the head where he's not fought in a battle. That's cool. That is really cool. I don't know how I would I don't know which one I would display him as. I'll probably choose the more expressive one. Yeah, I'll probably do that. I don't know. We're gonna check this out when I do a review of it. That is everything that I got from Zolocon, Target, Big Bad Toy Store. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and I will see you in the next vlog. Thanks for watching.